Hey coin collectors, in this video I want to talk through, are precious metals a good investment? So is it good to stack silver, gold, or is it a waste of money? So I just want to go through all of that in a little bit of detail and explain what's good about it and what are some of the risks within investing in gold and silver, just so if someone is looking to invest in the precious metals, just so they have all the clear options available. So for me, you've either got your stocks, your shares, your crypto, your property, cash, and then you've got something a bit more tangible, something like an asset like gold and silver. That's something that you can invest in. So one of the things I always like to say is, if you can't hold it, you don't own it. So that's one of the things I like about the precious metals is you are able to hold it. You can get a bit of money, and it's here in your hand. It's at your home. It's something that you own yourself, and only you have. So there's no problems getting it or trying to find it, or trying to get it out of the bank. You own it, so it's your asset, so there's no risk in that regards. So for me, I really do think stacking gold and silver is a really good thing. One thing especially around silver is it does what the dollar doesn't do. So if the dollar is going up, then you often find that the value of silver is going down, and vice versa. So given what we've seen in the markets over the last year or so, and what the future looks like with inflation and interest rates and everything else, it's really looking like the dollar is going to go down in a long way, and some countries might even end up crashing as well. So that's when it's a perfect time to have some silver for the investment, because that's when silver really shines, pardon the pun, and really stands out as a really, really good, strong investment, as well as gold as well. So gold is also a really good asset as well. But I find silver is just a little bit more liquid when it comes to things like that as well. So definitely seeing what's happening in the next year or so. I think 2024 is going to be a really, really good year for the precious metals and investing. One thing I always like to do is dollar cost average. So what that means is every month or so I'll buy a couple of silver coins depending on what the cost is, and then I just keep stacking every month. So some months I get it cheaper, some months I spend a little bit more, but over the course of a year you end up having a good spread of coins, gold and silver, that you spent a good average on. So you're not spending all the money when the cost of silver is up high, and when it drops you end up losing a lot of that asset. So it's a bit like your super or your 401k that the US have as well. It's very similar to that, where you're constantly adding to it. You're buying in the dips, but you're also buying in the highs, and over a spread of a long term you end up out in front as well. So that's definitely something I like to look at, and how I look at my investment with gold as well. So how much of gold and silver should you stack when it comes to an investment point of view? I always think having at least 40 Oz. So 40 Oz troy ounces of silver is a really, really good amount to have. So that's pretty much all of these coins are 1 Oz each. So having 40 of these is a really, really good amount. So they're around roughly $40 each to $60 if you get the American Eagles. So obviously these ones have a higher premium, or then you got some of the really nice proof ones as well that hold a higher value. So 40 of these times $40 plus can be a really good minimum investment, I'd say. Minimum investment from a stacking coin point of view. So you wouldn't want to go much less. But it's really up to what your personal preference is and how you like to do it as well. So from an investment point of view, I always like to try and have at least 3 months of take-home salary savings as a backup nest egg. So whether it be cash, stocks, crypto, or other assets as well, I like to at least have 3 months of some assets. And with the currency not looking as strong over the next couple of years, I think it's a perfect time for gold and silver to be an investment, because it's a lot safer hedge against inflation as well. So for me, that's the perfect time for this metals to shine as well. So other things too is like you look at the American Eagle. Like if you had bought this 5 years ago, or even a couple of years ago, and you see how much premium this has gone up over the last couple of years, you could have really made some significant investments. So you never know what other government coin could be low minted next year as well, because they prefer to put their silver into some other assets given the cost of dollars and things like that. So you might find some other of the government minted coins really going up in a high premium amount, so a lot higher than spot price. So definitely something to consider when you're buying gold and silver as well. Also, I like to try and get a bit of a mix as well. So I definitely do strongly focus on my government minted coins. I find they are the most liquid and the most safest ones to own from my perspective. I think definitely I wouldn't go on the American Eagles right now. They're probably a bit too much of a high premium. But the Britannias out of the UK are a really, really strong one. The Australian Kangaroo is absolutely, from a cost point of view, is definitely one of the best ones to buy, and they've got some really good security and amazing quality as well. And the Canadian Maple as well is probably my favourite. And the Canadian Maple is definitely probably the pick of the bunch for me at the moment. So with all the effort they're putting into making these coins, I really think the Canadian Mint has gone above and beyond in that regards as well. So definitely a pick of the bunch. It's always good to get some weight in your stack as well. So getting the bars, this is a 100-gram bar from the Royal Mint as well. I've got these ones here. These are just 1 ounce from the Perth Mint. So these are actually a $1 denomination bar. So they're pretty good as well. So there's a couple of different varieties of those. And also try and get some of the silver rounds. So silver rounds are really, really good and quite liquid as well. I wouldn't go too much into the junk metal from an investment point of view. It is good to have some junk metal, but I just find that it takes a lot more energy and effort to calculate how much actual silver content you have in all these coins, because sometimes they're 50%, sometimes they're 80%, depending on where you are and what years. You need to focus on certain years as well. And to hold all that extra weight of content that's not silver will take up a lot more space, where the rest of these coins are pure silver, so you're not wasting any other weight as well. So another one out there that I think is kind of underrated at the moment is platinum as well. So I think platinum is definitely a precious metal that could be looked at as something to stack. I wouldn't stack it in high quantities, but given the price that it's quite lower than gold right now, even though it's a rarer metal, I think it is something that could be looked at in the future as well, depending on what kind of industries that they'll use it for as well. So definitely would consider stacking some platinum. I wouldn't go too heavy on it. I think people do like the shininess of silver and gold, where platinum doesn't have that shininess, so you do lose some of that value. But from an actual precious metal point of view, I really think it is undervalued at this point in time. And lastly, I would probably steer clear of some of the premium coins right now, or at least selling them. So no risk in buying the premium coins, but these high premium proof silver coins, I find with the way the dollar is going right now, you'll find less and less people being able to afford and pay the high price that's required to buy those coins. So that goes against with gold and silver as well. So you'll find less and less people being able to afford the high end coins. So just take that with extra caution, that it's all okay to buy these proof coins and some of the special releases that are coming out, and I certainly do. But I'm knowing full well that this is not the time to be selling them. You've really got to wait for the dollar to go up a bit and to have a bit more confidence in the market, and for people to have money to be able to spend it. They're more of a collector's item, and right now people are really focusing on just being able to put food on the table and pay their mortgages and pay all their bills. They're not going to be looking for those collector items at this point in time. So it definitely comes with a bit of caution and risk, but definitely something to consider in the future once the dollar settles, whenever that may be as well. So let me know your thoughts on investing in precious metals. Do you think it's a good investment? Do you think 2024 is going to be an absolute banger of a year to be stacking gold and silver as well? As always, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that loves talking about my collection and all the things that I've learned and seen over the time as well. So take it as a grain of salt. This is just my personal opinion of what I think will happen in the future. Please subscribe for more videos and to stay up to date with all the greatest coin news that I'll be making. Thanks for watching and joining the coin collecting community. Dan.